Thank you. Thank you. I know. I'm here just like the rest of you, in the studio with me, the real Tony Stark. Okay. All right, please be calm. I'm aware of my awesomeness. Listen, we have a great show tonight. This is the real Tony Stark Show. Did you expect any less? We've got the real Wolverine in the studio tonight. Should be really thrilling. Okay. Well, hold on. We've also got the real Lex Luthor of LexCorp in the studio tonight. I know. But listen, before we go on with the rest of the show, I want to take a moment to talk about a truly tragic and unnecessary bombing that took place in Boston during the marathon. This was a senseless and evil thing that happened on a day that was supposed to celebrate the human spirit. A selfish and heartless man, and 2 explosions changed all of that. Now, this has been a show that celebrates superheroes in the movies, but today we're going to celebrate the heroes in real life. From all of us here at the Real Tony Stark Show, we want to wish our heartfelt sympathies to everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. And thank you to everyone who did everything they could to help those who were injured. All right, now we do have a wonderful show for you folks. Now this is by some miracle your first time watching my show. Congratulations! You've just joined the best party on late night television. Now here we talk about my favorite subjects, technology, movies. We not only talk about movies, we get to meet the folks that inspire them. The real heroes that are played by Hollywood actors in some of the most entertaining films you can watch today. For example, he's a man's man. He's got a killer beard, and his insides are as cold as steel. Now, he's known in the movies as Wolverine. Really, he's just a guy from Long Beach that is pretty handy in the kitchen. Now, my good friend Logan is here to share his opinion on the next Wolverine film, adapted and exaggerated from his real life. And listen, we've got a great show for you after this break. We will get right into some tech talk. Now, don't go away. Okay, now let's get right into my favorite part of the show. As you know, the world of innovative technology changes about every day. Now here at the Real Tony Stark Show, we pride ourselves on being the first to break the news on the coolest toys and gadgets out there. We've got some really innovative pieces of new and future technology to share with everyone today. Oh, you know what? Check this out. You all know about 3D TV. Well, guess what? 3D is going to be a thing of the past. Holographic TV will be where the future of television. That's a pretty amazing piece of technology. But you know what? I think I can do better. Bam. How about that, folks? Amazing, isn't it? Now say hello to our audience, little buddy.
Hello. It is wonderful to meet all of you.
So forget holographic TVs. How about real holograms in your living room?
That's right, Tony. This new technology.
Okay, that's enough of that. Alrighty, well, let's welcome our first guest. He's here to talk with me about another one of our gym tech thingies. Talk with me about another gym and tech, as well as the upcoming release of what's sure to be a Hollywood hit. Now, he's survived one of humanity's weirdest science experiments and likes to cut it to the chase. Now, he's the real Wolverine, Logan. Let's give him a hand. Thanks for coming on the show with us, Logan.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Logan, can you tell us a little bit about your experiments that were done to you?
Well, I don't like to talk about in detail, but, I got a couple extra things going on with, weapons of sorts. You sort of know a thing or two about that,
I know maybe a thing or two.
Right. That in combination, I can have a couple healing powers.
Right, and how does that work? Does it matter the magnitude or anything? razor cut or?
Yeah, I don't cut myself shaving too often, but
And your beard looks fantastic. By
thank
the way.
you, appreciate that.
Missed the old goatee.
Professor X said, did some experiments that said he'd cut my head off, he'd have to leave it pretty far away from my body. I think
So it can go as
sums
far
it
as
up.
literal
Oh,
head
yeah.
being disconnected from your body.
Yeah,
Wow, that's impressive.
yeah.
Now, I wanted to find your input on this. Let me just read you this article. This is a new science technology that the government's been working on. Now, it's a new cloning technology, and the most recent development is they've actually been able to clone a woolly mammoth, which has been extinct for
Well,
thousands of years, and they brought that back. And it was so bizarre to hear that they're doing this, and I wanted to get your feedback, having personal
Yeah,
involvement
that's,
with government experiments.
Well, I don't know exactly how I feel about it in general with the government. I hope they use it for good. I'm one of the lucky cases I kind of got out of that. But hey, any technology is good technology in the right hands. So it's pretty neat if they can do that. Why not?
I also wanted to get your input on the new Wolverine movie starring Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen a couple clips of it.
Oh, have you?
I don't know. I think Hugh Jackman should have hit the gym a little bit harder. He's looking kind of small on the big screen, but yeah, I don't know if that's really how I sound. I'm from Canada. He's from Australia. Does a pretty good job, though.
Definitely. I was hoping we could maybe catch a trailer. Is that all right
Yeah,
with you?
let's do it. I want these guys to see it.
Alrighty, you guys ready for take a look at the new Wolverine movie? Alrighty, let's go ahead and cue that up.
I've been trying to find you for over a year. It's an honor to meet the Wolverine.
That's not who I am anymore.
Wow, that looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did a good job.
I just have to ask though, before you leave, and I'm sure the audience is dying to see, but can you maybe just give us a little demonstration?
all right, yeah,
There's such a wonderful. Don't you want to see it, guys? How can you see it?
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah.
It's so cool. I got to get me one of those on my next Mark suit.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, well, Logan, thanks for stopping by. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Real Life Heroes after this short commercial break. Now we're going to get ready to introduce our next guest, who is a titan of industry and one of the most recognizable figures in all of Metropolis. You all know him and love him. Help me welcome the president and founder of LexCorp, Lex Luthor. How you doing there, Lex?
Good evening, Anthony. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for coming on the show.
Anytime.
So, how are things at LexCorp?
Busy.
Can you release any information on what you guys got lined up next?
Well, with our government contract, there's only so much information I'm allowed to give out. You know how that goes in the industry, Tony.
I understand. I do, not to sound nitpicky, but, I do kind of dive into these technological advancements and whatnot. And this one really caught my eye that you guys are working on right now, if you don't mind talking with me. But it's called the Personal Flying Suit. You guys have been in development for this for a few years now.
Yes.
And the thing that caught my eye about it is you call it the first personal flying suit.
Keyword there, Tony, personal.
Okay, personal. All
I
right.
really don't want to, step on your toes at all, but this...
No, it's a very impressive
bigger.
looking piece of equipment. I'm very excited to see what you guys do with it. And it's called the Puffin?
It's still that's not the final name, but that's just the name the boys
the nickname
in
for
R&D calling it.
Okay. Just to read a little bit about it for our audience members here who may not know. It's approximately 12 feet in length and has a 15-foot wingspan. So it's actually like a personal plane.
You could say that.
Yeah, so you actually just sit in there and you kind of like just jet off. It's really cool. Going to be an expensive little piece of equipment though, but you are making it public.
Yes. This isn't for Joe six-pack flipping burgers, but
Right.
it's a little better than a Prius.
A little better than a Prius. So you're using recycled energy.
Well, we're trying to be as clean as possible. You know, that's the era we live in right now.
Right. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. You know, in the Superman films, Lex is always made out to be this evil, maniacal man who hates Superman, but really LexCorp is one of the top founding companies in recycled air, going green. So how do you feel about that? Are you okay being presented as just this maniacal, evil maniac?
I sleep well at night.
Yes.
You could say that.
Okay.
It's just the liberal media and marketing and filmmaking, drama, trying to develop a story. We're a corporation that's for humanity and ran by humanity. So we really want to help the people and, you know, develop more things that you and everyone else gets to play with.
Some guy, right, guys? Alrighty, well, Lex, that actually brings me up on my next topic, but the new Man of Steel movie coming out. I'm personally very, very excited for it. I think it looks great. You're not featured in this one, ironically enough.
No,
so how do you feel about that?
Maybe Lex Luthor's character is a little too big.
Okay.
To put into this film. Maybe that's just my thoughts. But yeah, they did a good job.
Now, have you seen anything for the movie yet?
Just bits and pieces that they're allowed me to see, but you know,
Alrighty.
I get to go on set sometimes and hang out with the actors.
The
It's
actors.
pretty fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, folks, actually, we have the brand new updated trailer for the movie. If you would like to take a look, we'll play it now.
Goodbye, my son.
He'll be an outcast. They'll kill him.
How? He'll be a god to them.
That's great. And this one just looks so much like emotionally charged action going on in it. I'm really excited for it.
Pretty good job.
Alrighty. Well, Lex, thank you so much for coming on the show, folks. Lex Luthor. You know what, Lex? Actually, before you go, while I have you here, because you're such a difficult man to steal, I would love the opportunity to show you something. And folks in the audience, viewers at home, if you would mind watching as well. Yeah? All right. Jarvis,
Yes, Mr. Stark.
cue up the heads-up display.
Right away,
A little
sir.
recording. Jarvis,
Yes.
I'm in. Systems up.
George Decay! George Decay!
All right. This is the first recording of a heads-up display. Let's see what we can do. So what'd you think of that?
I'm pretty speechless there.
That's my personal find, see.
Quite impressive. I can say that.
Well, thanks again, Lex. It was a pleasure. Folks, Lex Luthor. That wraps us up here at the Real Tony Stark Show. Folks, thank you again for joining us here tonight. For those of you watching at home, stay tuned. We'll show you a clip for next week's episode.